Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. At Obama's State of the Union this past Tuesday, he made a reference to curing cancer and saying the United States needed something like the space program that put the man on the moon to cure cancer. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why he left us with that riddle in the final year of his presidency, his last State of the Union. There's a reason the 44th president talked about curing cancer and referencing the space program, which supposedly landed on the moon July 20th, 1969. Let's begin by watching this mainstream coverage of presidents and the things they've said at State of the Union about curing disease and illness. We'll break some of it down, and then we'll talk about cancer, the moon landing, the connection. We'll also talk about Susan G. Komen's cure for cancer, the Pink Ribbon Foundation, and what a fraud that is. And we'll even talk about the deaths of David Bowie and Mr. Rickman, who just passed away this week at age 69 from cancer, supposedly. All of this is part of an ongoing riddle. Here we go, Truth Seeker.
With a new moonshot, America can cure cancer. Let's make America the country that cures cancer once and for all. What do you say, John? Make it happen.
Did you guys just see Joe Biden look like he was trying to hold it in there?
I will also ask for an appropriation of an extra $100 million to launch an intensive campaign to find a cure for cancer.
At the end of this, we'll talk about why Nixon said this in 71. It connects to the story from Jimmy Carter this year, who got brain cancer, becoming governor in 71 of Georgia, and who's also since had his brain cancer cured. There's a reason for all of these stories, Truth Seeker.
I will ask later for whatever additional funds can effectively be used. The time has come, America, when the same kind of concentrated effort.
I will also propose the International Health Act of 1966 to strike at disease and by trying to wipe out smallpox and malaria and control yellow fever over most of the world during this next decade. To help countries trying to control population growth by increasing our resources and earmark funds to help.
Let me say we must step up our efforts to treat and prevent mental illness. No American should ever be able to afraid, ever, to address this disease. This year we will host.
Just imagine it, Truth Seeker, our federal government helping with mental illness. This is the same federal government that sponsors ongoing propaganda, fear-mongering, teaching people to hate. What do you think builds mental illness? How about living under tyranny and deceit and lies and abuse?
The White House Conference on Mental Health. With new resources, NIH will now become the most powerful discovery engine for an AIDS vaccine, working with other scientists to finally end the threat of AIDS.
The reason that's comical, Truth Seeker, AIDS was discovered by a 33-year-old doctor. AIDS in gematria sums to 33, just like the name Clinton, which is not Bill Clinton's birth name. He was born William Jefferson Blythe. His father was found dead on the side of the road on a date with 33 numerology. He took on the name Clinton years later when he went to college, when he crossed paths with George W. Bush.
A hopeful society acts boldly to fight diseases like HIV/AIDS, which can be prevented and treated and defeated.
Listen to fucking George W. Bush. Doesn't this guy just make you laugh? The only time this president ever sounded sincere was when he was talking about bombing brown people. Horrible president. So many of these truth channels on YouTube weren't awake during the time of Bush, but are here to tell everybody that Obama's the Antichrist. Any channel that has that message, which is the majority of them, I would tune that channel out. These are people who don't know what they're talking about, who fuel the racial agenda, who fuel the spiritual division agenda. It's all about divide and conquer. And all these people who play into these false narratives, these racist religious narratives, they're not people worth listening to. If you weren't asleep during the George W. Bush years, unless you were in diapers, you shouldn't be talking.
More than 1 million Americans live with HIV.
George W. Bush, another one with a life number of 33, graduated from Yale's Skull and Bones 33 years before becoming president in 68. Same year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. Same year World Trade Center construction began. Same year Space Odyssey 2001 came out. No coincidence. Anyhow, in Obama's speech about curing cancer, he equated. I can't find my vocabulary right now. He essentially said we need to cure cancer the same way we put a man on the moon. He used the phrase moonshot. Moonshot has that gematria of 119, like all-seeing eye, like Star of David, numbers that are special to this nation, words and symbols that are special to this nation, that are on our currency. Get this, Truth Seeker. Obama's the 44th president, right? Cancer has gematria of 44. Chemo has gematria of 44. Kill has gematria of 44. We landed on the moon in the time of Cancer, the astrological symbol that symbols 69. Cancer is ruled by the moon. We landed on the moon supposedly in 69 in the time of Cancer. Do you get it, Truth Seeker? Why equivalate the moon landing with curing cancer? Cancer and space both have gematria of 44 as well, just like Obama being the 44th president. Armstrong, as in Lance Armstrong, as in Neil Armstrong, the man who supposedly landed on the moon. Armstrong, a name with 44 gematria. Armstrong lands on the moon in the time of Cancer in the year 69. This year we got the story about Jimmy Carter getting brain cancer and 4 spots on his brain 44 years after becoming governor of Georgia, before becoming the 39th president. In this past week, we had the Iranian hostage crisis reminder with the 10 sailors held captive by Iran. 10 has gematria of 39. Hostage has gematria of 39. Jimmy Carter was the president when the Iranian hostage crisis began. It ended on his last day in office. It lasted 444 days. He was the president from the 4th state with the gematria of 44. All we get in this world are riddles by the numbers, and these are the actors who are willing to play it out. Kill, cancer, chemo all equal 44, so does brain. He got brain cancer in 4 spots. This story came in 2015, 44 years after 1971. Remember, we just saw Nixon giving his cancer speech at the State of the Union in 71. Jimmy Carter's story from 2015, 44 years later. When you write out 71 and 44, it sums to 144. Special numbers. Only those two sum to 144. Jimmy Carter's brain cancer was cured 116 days later, supposedly. You know, most people in this world, they get brain cancer, they're dead. But here's a former president, a 90-year-old man, gets his brain cancer cured. Probably because he never had it. That's why he was smiling when he announced to the nation that he had it. Who goes up with a big smile on their face to tell the world they have brain cancer? People who are laughing at us. So many people fooled by Jimmy Carter and all these fake presidents. You know? Picking left and right. Blinding themselves to the truth of the side they pick, just attacking the other. That's how they want it. Anytime you see a ribbon truth seeker, I'm telling you, stay away. The ribbon is a marker of deception. Susan G. Komen for the Cure has gematria of 96, just like Freemason. Freemasons, Satanists in disguise. Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge. Think about that in regards to cancer. Ribbon, a word with 33 gematria, the number of obsession for the Freemasons. Susan Komen was born Susan Goodman, and she supposedly got breast cancer at age 33. Look at this, Truth Seeker. Goodman, a name with 33 gematria. Susan, a name with 11 gematria. Put it together, Susan Goodman equals 44, like cancer. Susan Goodman, 44, code for cancer. And now her sister runs the charity. You know what I think's going on? I think there never was a Susan Goodman. She's a fictional character, and her sister is a very deceptive person, happy to chair this deceptive organization that steals people's money every year. One of many ways our money's stolen, with the cancer lie. Last year they were in their 33rd year anniversary. If you want to avoid cancer, Truth Seeker, this is the key. Eat fruits and vegetables. Stay away from processed foods. Stay away from artificial ingredients. Get exercise and have a healthy social life. These are the ways to avoid cancer. And what they do to us in our society, because I know what happens when you say that to people. They go, nuh-uh, watch the news. You see, healthy athlete dies of cancer. They're just giving you propaganda, fool. This is how they deceive you. This is how they keep you thinking you can keep eating hot dogs and shit, and it doesn't matter. That's how the average American thinks. Well, I might as well just eat this junk food that tastes good because everything gives you cancer. This is how they program us to be idiots. Go read about nutrition. Your intestines are like a herbivore's, not like an omnivore's. Not like a carnivore's. Of course, we can't eat meat and survive, but your intestines are like a herbivore's. Long, very long. Meant for digesting fruits and vegetables. Carnivores have short, straight tracks and a lot different teeth in their mouth. You want to ignore the truth? Probably more likely to end up with cancer. And speaking of cancer and moon landing, this week we've had the death of David Bowie, Mr. Rickman, the singer, the actor, both dying at age 69 from cancer. David Bowie's first song is about space. Lots of songs about space. Ziggy Stardust, all about space travel, saying goodbye to his wife before he wants to. Both those men had Lazarus connections. In the show Galaxy Quest, which has gematria 44, Rickman played the character Lazarus, Dr. Lazarus. On David Bowie's latest album, he had a song about Lazarus. He made a music video dressed up as Lazarus. Lazarus, a story about being resurrected from the dead by God. God, Lazarus, cancer, all gematria 26. We already know about the 44s. It's all themed, this world we're living through. We're living through a predetermined destiny. Getting sold out by stooges in political offices, entertainers, astronauts. Got to wake up to how we're getting played, Truth Seeker. Every time you donate money to the cancer cure, what you're actually doing is probably reinforcing the disease so it stays here, because you're giving your money to the tyrants who rule over us and make sure we're sick with cancer. Why? Look at the stats on people who die from illness. These people who go out in this world dying from illness, the majority of their expenditures in their life are in their final year of their life, spending more than the rest of their life combined trying to stay alive from diseases like cancer. That's why they do this to us. It's all part of our slavery. It's all part of our abuse that we accept. It's how we're enslaved. And we keep giving our money, time, and wealth and our trust back to the slave masters while dismissing the truth tellers. There's movies out in the 60s and 70s about how to avoid cancer. These movies are still true. Shame on you, Barrio. It's a shame that the first black president is a major sellout to everybody. It's not what this world needed. And I told everybody that back in 2008. It's so obvious to see how we get played by politicians, deceivers, liars, people who aren't sincere, but the sheeple, they fall for it every time. Until next time, Truth Seeker.